Hello students. In the previous sessions, we discussed about the definitions of public relations. But in today's session, we will be discussing a very important topic, that is the history of public relations, and in which we will be trying to explore together its humble beginnings right from the early start to its present. It is often said that military is one of the oldest professions in the history of the planet. Similarly, some say that entertainment industry is one of the oldest professions in the history of the planet. Some say medicine is one of the oldest professions. But PR is also considered as one of the oldest professions in the world as them. Looking at its humble beginnings, PR actually began in America in the early 18th century, or you could say late 18th century. It was first used by the company called railroad companies, which was trying to establish tracks all across America. So they utilized this term, public relations, to actually promote the expansion of settlement in America. So this was during 1800, or we could say late 18th century, as I've mentioned here. So on the one side, you could see that railroad companies were trying to promote the westward expansion. On the other side, there was something called first celebrity press agents who were trying to promote the celebrities, and they were trying to create legends and trying to sell the stories, truthful stories of these celebrities. So we can also term this particular age as the age of the press agent, as I have mentioned here. So this is an important phase because this was the first time somebody used the term formally in the profession. Similarly, as we move a little ahead, that is in the early 19th century, you could see Ivy Lee, who is a very famous person at that particular time, because he developed something called Declaration of Principles. So this actually ushered the public relations into another age that is known as the public information age, as I have mentioned here. So here the main important characteristic of this particular age is you have to make sure that you are giving truthful information and you are open about your activities. So this was an important advancement because many companies started employing public relations officers to actually give truthful information to the stakeholders of the organization. So a little recap, I would say. When we talk about the age of the press agent, it was basically focusing on hype and exaggeration and trying to portray truthful information. But as we move to the 19th century, you could see that we have something called public information age, where you are looking forward to something called true information or correct information, apt information of your product or of your organization. And you have to make sure that you give apt information to your stakeholders. So this was the second significant age in the history of public relations. Moving ahead to the first big test for this newfound profession was persuading people to actually join the First World War, American people to join the First World War. So here the Public Information Committee was formed by the president of that time, that is Woodrow Wilson, and he developed a committee called as the Public Information Committee. And this is in the year 1923. You could see that there was an important famous person in this committee known as Edward L. Bernays, who basically is also known as the father of modern public relations. He is also known for his famous book, Crystallizing Public Opinion. So he basically using two different fields, that is the field of social sciences, psychology. He told his clients that we can easily understand the needs and wants of our customers, audiences, or our stakeholders. So it was an important achievement in the field of public relations because this led to a shift in the age that is known as the age of scientific persuasion, or you could also say that it is an age of two-way symmetrical model. Now class, we'll go a little further. We'll come to the year 1950s to 1960s. Now this is a period where we can see that there was a lot of activism among people, and they were trying to question the corporate greed and demand. So this basically led to a shift in the basic requirements of public relations. So now the major requirement was relationship building. Now there was a change in the definition of public relations in a small manner. Like, the main idea was to identify relationships, sustain relationships, and build them further for the future of the organization. So in a way, you could say that the nature of the entire public relations field had changed. So this is an important change in this age, because now we are basically looking at a two-way symmetrical model. Till now, with the previous ages which we had discussed, we are only discussing about the one-way symmetric model, where we are only looking at the one-way flow of information. But here, the important factor which is important for you to understand is, here the model is two-way, and both ways the relationship should be mutually beneficial. So this is the whole idea of this particular time period, that is 1950s to 1960s. So now coming to a little further, that is 1970s. This is a time period where public relation professionals were basically looking for business first and the communication second. So in simpler words, it means that you are looking for measurable objectives. From your measurable objectives, you should get the return on your investment, and you should make sure you are getting some profit. So communications, relationship building actually took a backseat. Okay, so after 1970s, actually we come directly to the early 20th century, where we are talking about media relations, publicity, and you could see that public relations has itself become a lot broader. It includes a lot of areas like employee relations, investor relations, public affairs, social lobbying, social media, etc. So coming to today's present trend, it is basically, you could see that public relations is basically integrated with marketing, advertising, and strategic communication. So you could say a complete term comes here, that is IMC, that is integrated marketing communication or strategic communication. So students, you should understand that today's trend is basically focusing on relevant messages or consistent messages, and also looking at cost effectiveness. So the whole idea of public relations, if you have seen from the early 18th century to today, has changed in a broad manner. So we will stop here, class. Thank you for listening. We'll actually be looking at the models of public relations in our next class. Thank you for listening. Thank you.